Hello and Assalamu alaikum. Today we are going to start a new session of O-level mathematics past papers. So today we will start October number 2021 and variant 1 2. So going to start this paper. Question number 1 is related to simple numbers question in which there is a square root which is given, and under the square root there is a number that's written 4900. So look at the number without zeros like 49. What is, you can say, 49 means it is a perfect square. Which number square is it? 49. It is 7 square. So we can directly write down 7 because square root of 49 is 7. So how many zeros are there? There are two zeros. So we have to divide means number of zeros by 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. So we have to you can say write down 1 0 with that 7. That will be square root of 4900. So next is evaluate, where we evaluate 5 cube. 5 cube means 5 times 5 times 5. So we have to remember 5's cube, that is 125. 125 will be the answer for part B. So moving towards next question. In next question, what we have to apply, we have to look that D mass rule must be applied here. Multiplication will be done first and then addition. So 7 times -5 will be -35. So -35 and -8 both are negative. So simple addition and sign remains negative. That is -43. So this is the answer for question number 2. So moving towards question number 3. In question number 3, there is a triangle. Complete triangle is given, and there are small triangles in that triangles. Some are shaded and some are unshaded. What we have to do, we have to shade one more small triangle so that the shape has a rotational symmetry of order 3. Means if we rotate this 3 times and reaching its original position, it must be having the same shape as it is if we shift 3 times. So clearly look at here means these two you can say triangles are shaded, and similarly at this position these two are shaded. So look at this cornered one triangle. So the similar thing that must be shaded will be the corner one. If we shade this thing and try to rotate it 3 times, whether we are having the same shape, we can try. That must be having the same shape 3 times. If we rotate 1 time, then second time, then third time, after reaching its original position, that will be the third time. So at that time, it will be having order of 3. So this triangle is to be shaded. You can check by simply rotating your piece of paper. So once you rotate, you will understand it better that whether you achieve the original shape like given in the question or not. So if you have any queries, you can write down in the comment section related to it. So moving towards question number 4 and on to the next page. So there are some figures, some net of the solids are given, and we have to tell which kind of shape is this. In question number 4, the very first shape is given. What type of shape is this? This is a kind of cuboid. Cuboid are having some kind of, you can say, rectangles. If we close them, it will be a cuboid. It looks like a box. So how many faces in a cuboid? If we look in simple way, there are 6 faces. Means up, down, left, right, and front and back. There must be 6 faces. Like in a room, we can say. So you can see there are you can say pair of rectangles that are similar. Means if this rectangle is drawn, it is similar to this one. So this rectangle, the second one is similar to this one, and that one is similar to that one. If we close this shape, it must be looking like a cuboid because all of the faces are rectangles. So we can write down cuboid here. What about the next shape? In the next shape, if we close them, there is a central base. What kind of shape is a center? It's a square, means all of the you can say corners are same. If we close it, it looks like you can say pyramid. And what kind of pyramid is it? It will be square based pyramid. Or if we write just pyramid, it will be fine as well. So in broader sense, we can write on square based pyramid. So pyramid is having one apex point. Apex point is a point where all of the triangles are joining like this. We close it. So this is apex point. So if we join all of the corners, it look like pyramid. So what about the next shape? Next shape is basically you can see these two shapes are same, so it will not be a kind of we can say pyramid are having all of the lateral faces other than the base must be triangles, but in this case there are two triangles, but if we close that shape it looks like prism. In prism in prism if there is a triangular base, so there must be three rectangles on each face. Three rectangles in total. Means if we check, one is the front one, second is the right one, and third one is the left one. So number of rectangles depend on the corners of the base. So if the corners are, you can say three corners, there is a triangle. So it means that there must be three kind of rectangle. So if you close it, it must be looking like a triangular prism. Write down with the base name, or if you write down just prism, it will be fine as well. Triangular prism or triangle base pyramid prism, both are fine. So this is the answer for this question. So you must know mensuration rules and type of shapes and how to draw the nets, or when the nets are given, how to draw the shape and how to figure out what kind of shape is it. In the next question, it's angle property question. In angle property, you can see two lines are parallel. AD line and EH line are parallel, and some of the angles are given which are mentioned. You can say as a statement as well in the question. So we have to find angle CXD. Where is it lying? First of all, figure out CX and G. This is the angle we have to find. So look at this line BXG. This is a straight line. So angle on a straight line must be supplementary angles. Means the sum of those two angles are 180. It must be 180 degree. So if we subtract 81 from 180, that will be resulting in angle CXD, and it must be 99 degrees. So this is answer for angle CXG. So what about the next question? It is angle BCX. So angle BCX, how we can find out? First of all, figure out what is angle BCX. It is this angle. So once you have two parallel lines and there is one line that is cutting, you can say intersecting those two parallel lines. So we have to remember those kind of, you can say, angles like corresponding angles, alternate angles, and all of these. So when two lines are parallel, there is angle on the right side of that line which is intersecting both of the parallel lines. So that must be equals to the other side of the angle, alternate angle, so it must be 53 degrees as well. So angle BCX we can write down directly, it must be 53 degrees. So what about the next one? So next angle is angle ABX. Where is it lying? Angle A, starting from A and B and X. So for finding angle BCX, we can do you can say different things for solving this, but I'm you can say making understand the easiest of the ways. These two are interior angles but are of the same side, means ABX angle and this 46 angle. 46 and angle on the same side are basically supplementary angles. So if we subtract 46 from 180, that will be the angle ABX. So 180 and minus 46 resulting in 134 degrees. That is the answer for angle ABX. Remember the properties. I'm making a separate diagram, means when there are two parallel lines, same line is intersecting. So angle on the left side of that line with first parallel line and towards the right side of that line and with other parallel line, these two are alternate interior angle. So these two are equal as well. And if the angle onto the same side, means when the line is intersecting with first parallel side, angle on the left hand side and angle on the left hand side with the other parallel line. So sum of these two is 180. We have applied this property in the you can say last part, C part. So sum equals to 180 when the angles are on the same side. So I hope so you understand this. If you have any queries, write in the comment section related to any problem till now. So moving towards the next question. In next question, what we have to do in question number 6, we have to work out 69 divided by 0.3. So how to solve this? Simply write on 69 and divide it by like 0.3. Remove the decimal point and multiply with 10 in the numerator, because there is one digit after that decimal point. So it will write on 3 here. 3 one times and 3 two times and then 3 three times. So 23 times 10 resulting in 230, which is answer for part A of question number 6. So what about part B? In part B, we have to remove that decimal sign. First of all, convert this into the improper fraction. 7 1 times 7 and plus 4 is 11 over 7. Remove that decimal divide by sign with multiplication and take the reciprocal of the fraction after that division sign. So it will be 5 divided by 3. So I think there will be no cutting. So 11 times 5 will be 55 and 7 times 3 is 21. So we can convert this thing into mixed fraction form. So it will be resulting to whole 13 over 21. You can check this thing in the rough work, like 55 and 21. 2 times is 44. Sorry, 42. So it will be 3 and 1. So 13 is left. Remainder will be written here. And the term which is going to multiply will be written on the left hand side. And 21 will be divided. So question number 7 is estimation question. We have to just correct our answers to one significant figure and estimate our answer. So first significant figure here is 8. After 8 there is 2. So we can write down 8,000 here and multiply by. So for doing this it must be 0.60 or 0.6, both are fine. So divide by, it will be 20.0 or 20, you can say. Remove that decimal point. I'm cutting down the 0 with 0 and 2 1 times and 2 400 times. So 400 times 60 and overall divided by 100. So these two zeros will be cut with the two zeros of 400. Now 6 4 times is 24 and 0 will be written as it is. So 240 is the answer for this. So I hope so you understand this estimation type of question. So if you have any queries, I will be making some other video that's specifically for numbers, for algebra, and each and every topic. So follow me and stay tuned here. So moving towards question number 8. In question number 8, it's basically conversion of units. So we have to convert kilometers into meters. First of all, we have to remember the conversion rate, that is 1 kilometer equals to 1000 meters. So if we want to convert kilometers to meters, we have to multiply with 1000, because we are converting bigger unit to smaller unit. So two digits are basically 0 and 6, and we have to place the decimal one more digit towards right, so it will be 60 meters. So 60 meters will be our answer for part A. So what about next one? So I've already told you we have to convert. Yeah, we have to know the conversion rate. That's 1 meter equals to 100 centimeters. So if we want to take squares, so what we have to do, we have to take squares on both sides. So for taking the squares, the number of zeros will be doubled. So it will be 1 meter squared equals to 10,000 centimeter squared. So if we want to convert 7 meters square into centimeter square, so we have to multiply with 7 because we are converting from bigger unit to smaller. We have to multiply. So it will be 7 times 10,000. So it will be centimeter square. We can say 70,000 centimeter square is the answer. 7 with 4 zeros. So this is the answer for part B. So moving towards the next question. In next question, we have to write down 216 as a product of prime factors. So we have to do prime factorization. Here 216, so it is an even number. We have to divide by 2, so 2 1 times. So 1 is smaller than that 2, so we have to put 0 and bring that 6 along that 1. So it will be 2 8 times 16. Again, it's divided by 2 to 5 times and to 4 times. Again, it is 2 and to 27. So 27 is an odd number. We can check the next prime number, that is 3. So 27 can be divided by 3. So 3 9 times, again 3 3 times, and 3 1 times. So we can write down 2 times 2 and times 2 and times 3 times 3 or times 3, or we can say 2 cube multiplied by 3 cube, both are fine. So moving towards the next question. The next question, it's bit a tricky type of question. So most of the questions are not like this, but I want you to understand, and I can say put your attentions towards it. So two positive integers are each greater than 25. So this is information, two of the numbers that are greater than 25, and they are having the lowest common multiple, that's 216. When we are revising their times table, so there is a common multiple, but in its lowest form is 216. Similarly, the highest common factor of those numbers is 18. So we can check the numbers such as multiples of 18. We can check. So multiple of 18, first one is 36. After 18, it is 36 and 54, then 72, and like this. So highest common factor is basically telling us the numbers difference must be 18. Like first number, if I'm taking like number greater than 25, if we take 36 as the first number, so next number must be the consecutive multiple of 18. Why? Because highest common factor is basically 18, so the difference of two numbers must be 18. This is the hint which is given for HCF. If we take this, then it is satisfying for you can say highest common factor. Whether it is satisfying for the lowest common multiple, we can check in rough work for 36 and 54. So we have to divide by 2, so it is 18 times, it's 27 times. So both numbers can be divided by 3, 3, 6 times, and 3, 9 times, and again 3 3 2 times, and 3 3 times. So multiply all of these numbers, so it results in 3 3 is a 9, 2 is a 18, and 18 again 2 times is 36, and 36 3 times is 108. So it is obvious LCM of 36 and 54 is not giving 216. So it means that these two are not the numbers. So moving ahead, so we have to cross 36 as well. So we have to look at the next number 54 and 72, the next consecutive number, because highest common factor must be 18. So difference must be 18, so that highest common factor is satisfied for this. So we can check what's the LCM of 54 and 72. all of this thing is not necessary to be done. Why? Because the answer is just requiring the numbers, 2 marks for the correct numbers to be mentioned here. So we can check here. So 227 times and 236 times. So both are now divided by 3, 9 times and 312 times, again by 3 times and 4 times. Now you can check, it results in 18. Highest common factor is 18, that's fine. So multiply by 3 results in 54, and 54 times 4, you can check. So LCM will be 216. So it's satisfied. So the numbers that are having the highest common factor 18 and lowest common multiple 216 are 54 and 72. We have checked through our working of LCM and HCF. So I hope you understand. So if you have any queries, you can write down in comment section if you don't understand this question. So I will make some other type of question related to it later on, and then you can understand and you can solve by yourself those type of questions. Then it will be easier. I can say if there is some kind of unseen type of question which will come in your exam, and then you can do it quite easily. So I'm moving towards the next question on to the next page. So it's basically a transformation. So two triangles are given. So what we have to do, we have to describe fully a single transformation that maps A onto B. So A onto B, remember, not B onto A onto B. We have to start from A and move towards B. Suppose that we can take any of the point. I'm taking this point and moving towards this point. These two are the points. The shape is moved as it is. It's understood the question is related to translation. The other hint I've told in the previous video, that is it is having 2 marks. When it is having 2 marks, it's obvious from that mark scheme, the number of marks which are given here. If it is 2, it is related to translation, or we can say it's related to reflection. If it is having 3 marks, then it will be a rotation, or you can say enlargement. So when there is a translation, so we have to shift this point towards right. How many units we have shifted towards right? 1, 2, 3, and 4. Means that with a column vector, we have to write down translation and we have to write down column vector as well. So for a column vector, we can write down +4 because it is shifting 4 units towards right. When it's moving towards left, it will be negative. So how many units we have shifted? 4 units towards right. And what about, you can say whether we have shifted downwards or upwards. If we shift upwards, the value of y will be positive. When we shift downwards, how many shift units we have shifted downwards? We have shifted 2 units downwards. So we can write down 4 and -2 as a column vector. I hope you understand this thing. The hints which are given here, you need to understand those things, and then you have to write down translation and as well as column vector. If you've done both things correctly, you will get 2 marks. Otherwise, you will get nothing out of it. If one thing is wrong, you will get 1 mark. So we have to do the next question. In next question, what is basically required? They are saying that triangle A is mapped onto triangle C. There is one other triangle we have to make by a rotation of 90 degree and anti-clockwise. Two things are mentioned: angle and as well as direction. And center of enlargement is 0, 0. So center of enlargement is playing an important role from triangle A and C's rotation. So I am pointing the center of rotation, that's the origin point. So this is the origin point. So they are saying that we have to shift 90 degree and we have to shift anti-clockwise as well. So how to, you can say, basically do rotation kind of thing. So what I'm actually doing, I'm first of all plotting this point. How I can plot? There is a rule, you need to understand it. I have to join this corresponding point. You can draw with dotted line as well, and join this rotated, you can say, center of rotation point. Next thing, you need to measure this length. So how much length is this? You can check. I can say through ruler. So the length which is from center of rotation to this point is almost 36 millimeters. So 36 millimeters is basically, you can say, drawn here. So we have to shift 90-degree from center of rotation towards anti-clockwise. Okay, how to move anti-clockwise? This is the thing. We need to understand how to move anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise is basically we have to shift in this direction, and we can use, you can say, protector, or we can use simple scale so that we can see what, how we can make 90-degree angle with this line. So this is the thing you need to understand. We have shifted anti-clockwise and how to shift 90-degree here. So if we put a scale and we have to, I can say, plot point after 36 meters from this point means 90-degree, and as well as 36 millimeter means 3.6 centimeters in actual, we can say. So if we simply say that this line we have to plot from here and shift till 90-degree and shift. So it must be looking like this. Yes, it's 90-degree, and it's almost, once you use you can say your, you can say, rulers, it will be very exact figure. So that point must be lying 90-degree and anti-clockwise, so it must be lying at this position. You can check here. You draw a line here, it will be negative against the 90-degree exactly, and this point is shifted here. So what about the next point? For the next point, so we can check the measurements. You can say from this point to this point, so it must be something, we can say it is almost 4.6 millimeters something. So we have to draw 90-degree from here. So how to draw 90-degree? You can check through that, I can say, protector. So how to, you can say, plot 90-degree with this line, putting a protector here and 90-degree, and after that you can draw a dot here and then join that point, you can say, through that much distance towards the other way around. So I'm making that point. So that point must be having, the, you can say, you can check through your, you can say, exact figure. It must be having point at, you can say, it must be at, it must be looking, yes, it is shifted at this point. You can check the distance from here until here must be the same, and it is having 90-degree as well. Similarly, there is one other rule here, that this point is exactly lying downwards here. So if we shift, you can say, 90-degree, it must be towards right of this point and 2 units right towards it. You can check through making that dotted line and check through the angle and through the distance as well. So it must be lying here. So if we join these 3 points, so it will be the rotated triangle, and it must be C. By making through lines, it will be fine. So joining this with this, similarly this with this, and so it will be a perfect triangle. So after doing this, we have to mention its triangle C, because they've already told that we have to mention as well. You can check it's rotated anti-clockwise and as well as 90-degree, and with a center of rotation of 90 degrees. 0, comma 0 is the center of rotation. So what's the next figure? Triangle A is mapped onto triangle D by an enlargement of scale factor 3, and 5, comma minus 5 is the center of enlargement. First of all, plot center of enlargement for enlargement questions, 5 and minus 5. So where is it lying? 5 and minus 5. Positive 5 in x-axis and negative 5 in y-axis. So it must be the point of center of alignment. For doing center of alignment questions, what we have to do, so what actually we have to do here, we have to join each and every point of triangle A with, you can say, 5 comma minus 5, and then it will be, you can say, extended towards the whole grid, and then we have to check where it is having scale factor of 3. Scale factor 3 means it will be tripled, and the shape will be not upside down, it will be as it is. So the center of enlargement will be playing an important role here. So we have to, we can say, pass each and every point from this line. So I'm changing the color of it. So it must be this, or we can say we have to extend this line through the whole grid. It will be fine. Similarly, it must be passing from this point. And what about the last one? It must be passing from this main point, we can see. So it will be fine. So how to solve this? You can check from the diagram. You can check from the diagram. You can see here, these two lines are basically having 2 units difference. So if we extend, so scale factor is 3, it means that it will be tripled. So at which 2 points is will it be having the exact 3, you can say multiple means 2 times 3, 6 units difference, the exact difference. So what we can say here, it must be having at this point. We can see here it must be passing from here, 1 and minus 1 and minus 2. And similarly, if we I think there is something wrong with the lines, I have to make it again. I'm extending them again, then we can look them better. If we extend, now it's better. Similarly, passing from here, it will be looking like this. Must be looking like this. Now you can see, if we take, you can see the difference is here is 6 units exactly. From here till here, you can see the difference is 6 units. So these two are the points. So what about the third point? Third point, you can see, if we say this line and this line, there is a difference of 1 unit. So it must be having 3 units difference. Where will it be having? Yes, at this point, it's having 3 units difference with this line. So I have to go with line, it will be fine. So I have to draw with line having different color. So joining this with this line, this with this with this. This is the enlarged figure. So we can write down E here, D. This must be D. So we have to label as well. So this is the enlarged figure. If you have any queries related to enlarged figure, you can just let me know in the chat whether you will be having any problem in this or not. So moving ahead to the next question. In next question, it's basically locus and construction question. So what we have to do, there are 2 points. They're saying it's basically trees are being plotted. You can say planted here at you can say P and Q, and it's lying in a quadrilateral. So the scale is given 1 centimeter is basically to 6 meters. 6 meters are representing 1 centimeter on this specific you can say drawing. So what we need to do, they are saying that the garden has a path that is equidistant from P and Q. The distance which is equidistant from 2 points. Equidistant, and there is mentioning of 2 points, so you must remember it's question of perpendicular bisector. Remember this thing. Which thing? Equidistant, and 2 points are referring towards perpendicular bisector. So which line? PQ. So first of all, we have to join P and Q. First of all, join P and Q, and how to draw? You can say perpendicular bisector. So you can check first of all the length of you can say P and Q. What's the length of P and Q in centimeters? You can check. It's almost 5 centimeters. We can say it's 5 centimeters. So what we need to do, we have to open our compass more than half, means say 2.6, 2.7 or 3, anywhere else. And then we have to draw an arc. After putting at P, we have to draw an arc here. Similarly, once the same point, we have put the needle of the compass, we have to plot the same type of arc onto the other side of the you can say line. Similarly, same amount of arc is to be opened, and we have to draw an arc which must be intersecting both of these arcs. Something like this. Similarly, we have to do like this. Then, if we join these 2 points at where the arc is intersecting, so at the point where it intersect here, it must be the perpendicular bisector. It's cutting PQ into half, and as well as it's making 90 degrees. So I've done the as you can say rough thing, estimated thing. Once you are having you can say compass, then you can do it quite easily, and it must be the accurate one. So it's the first part. So moving ahead to the next thing, we have done, you can say, the first part, we've constructed the path. Yuna wants to plant a tree which is basically nearer to Q than to P. What does it mean? Nearer to Q than P must be the region that is rightwards towards this perpendicular bisector. The region which is right towards this is having the region which is closer to Q than to P. This is the thing. Remember this thing. So once we have done the next part, that then we can shade the region exactly. They're saying that which is more than 18 meters. More than 18 meters means when the scale is 1 centimeter to 6 meters, so 18 meters must be equal to 3 centimeters. We have to divide 18 by 6, so resulting in 3 centimeters from Q. We have to shade the region where Yuna can plant the tree. So actually what we have to do here, we have to simply make a circle. Why? Because they're saying that there is a fixed distance from a point, from a specific point, and the distance is specific, the fixed. Means 3 centimeter from Q is basically, first of all, we have to, you can say, make a circle with a center of Q. So once we have done this, then we will be moving ahead. So we can see we have to open our arc until 3 centimeters, and this making as a rough sketch. It must be something, a circle must be looking like this with a I can say radius of 3 centimeters. So they're saying the region is basically closer to Q then to P. So what we have to do here, you can see clearly image, the line is basically bisector must be extended as well. We can extend this line through the whole region. So we have to extend this thing. So the region which is to be drawn is outside of that circle. They're saying it's more than 3 centimeters and it is closer to Q means it must be on the right hand side above the you can say perpendicular bisector. So this is the exact region which we need to shade. So with respect to these two informations, we have to shade this region. More than 18 meters is basically more than that circle's area, and similarly closer to Q means that we have to draw you can say shade the region which is closer to Q means the region which is uh, closer to Q, basically the region above this line and closer to Q must be shaded. Once you have read both of the informations, then you can shade that region. We have to extend the perpendicular bisector to the whole region because the region must be defined clearly through the whole, we can say, quadrilateral. So I hope you understand this thing. So moving towards the next question. In the next question, they're saying that you have to prove that triangle ADC is similar to triangle DEC, and we have to tell the reasons as well. So triangle ADC and triangle. Next one is triangle DEC. Where are they lying? First one is ADC. ADC is the, I can say this triangle. It looks like a right angle triangle. The other one is DEC. DE and C. The first thing which we have seen that there is one of the angle which is common in these two. So we can see this angle is common in both of them. So we can write down the letters must be written as it is, like A, C and D. If we're looking at angle A, C, D, so it must be equals to angle I can say D, C, E. Must be equals to angle DCE means angle at C is common. We can write down common angle. This is the first angle, and it's, we can say the reason is quite simple as well. The other one is which is right angle. So these are basically the complete shape is a rectangle. So the rectangles corners are right angles. So it is 90-degree here. So we can write down the order must be same ADC. So it must be DEC. So angle at E is 90 degrees. So we can write down angle ADC. ADC is equals to angle DEC, and we can say it's given, or the other reason is these are right angles. So when there are right angles, both are equal to each other. What is the next information which must be equal? That's the other angle, the third angle in a triangle. When two angles are equal, third angle must be equal. That is angle DAC. Where is it lying? Angle DA at C. It must be equals to, it must be equals to angle EDC. What's the reason? The reason is basically you can say it's a third angle in a triangle. So we can say it's a third angle in triangle. So then we can say triangle ADC and triangle DEC are similar because three of the angles are equal. The same thing is to be applied for congruent, but here if we simplify that, you can say the requirement is for similar triangles. We can see the lengths are not equal as well, but The requirement is just, we can say, whether the angles are equal, whether the sides are in ratios. If we prove anything, that will be fine for the similarity. So triangle here DEC are similar to each other. So if you write down all of the three properties and reasons correctly, you will be having 3 marks. So moving towards the next question. In next question, they are saying that the mean of five numbers is 17. When the mean is 17, so what we have to do, the information is given. The number are listed in order of size, starting with the smallest. Starting with the smallest, the three smallest numbers are equal. We say that are x, x, and x. Three are the numbers, these are the smallest ones. So the middle three numbers add to 35. We don't know what are the middle three numbers, but total are five. Middle three, yes. Two are the x, and we can say fourth one can be y. Fourth can be y. So next up, the largest number is four times the smallest. So we can say if the largest, we can say that is z. Largest is z, and they're saying that it is four times the smallest, so it can be written as z equals to 4x. And similarly, this information can be written as middle three numbers are x, x, and y. So we can say 2x plus y equals to 35. So you can say all of the numbers must be expressed in terms of the same, we can say, one variable. Then we can do this question easily, otherwise it will be having a problem. Like x can be represented as x, it is x, no issues in that. But what about y can be expressed as bringing that 2x onto the other side, it will be 35 minus 2x. So we have represented y in terms of x. Similarly, z is already expressed in terms of x. So this is all of the three numbers, three different numbers that are expressed in x. First three numbers are already x. So what we have to do, we have to list the five numbers. We have to find all of the five numbers and from the smallest to the biggest numbers. So the mean of all of these numbers are 17. So we have to write down the formula for the mean. Mean equals to sum of data divided by the number of data. So what is mean? Mean is given that is 17, and sum means we have to add all of them. Means one is x, the other second one is x, third one is x, fourth one is 35 minus 2x, and similarly fourth one is fifth one is 4x. The value of z is you can say we have written down all of the numbers in terms of x. Number of data is 5 because there are 5 numbers. So we can cross multiply 17 times 5 is 85 equals to x plus x is 2x plus x is 3x. 3x minus 2x is just x, and plus 4x is 5x, and plus 35. Bringing 35 onto the left hand side, so 85 minus 35 equals to 5x. So it will be resulting in 50 equals to 5x. What's the answer of x? It must be 10. 50 over 5 equals to 10. So we have to write down all of the numbers in from the smallest to the biggest. So x is the first number, that is 10. Second is also 10. Third is also 10. Fourth one is basically 35 minus 2x. So we can find the value of y. 35 minus 2 times 10. 2 times 10 is 20, and 35 minus 20 is 15. 15 is the answer for the fourth part, and fifth one is 4 times x is basically 4 times 10, that is 40. So these are all the numbers which we have to find, and we have done it smoothly. If you have any queries till now, you can let me know. You can just write down you can say your queries in the comment section. So moving towards the next question. In the next question, what we have to do in next question, in next question, there is basically a speed time graph which is given, and we have to find the acceleration for the first 20 seconds. So from 0 till 20, look at the diagram, it's speed time graph. So 0 till 20, what's the final speed? It is 15. And what's the initial speed? It's 0. So we can write down 15 minus 0 is 15, and divided by total is 20. and 15 over 20. What's the simplification? It's 3 and 5, 4 times 20, 3 over 4, or we can say it's 0.75 if we simplify in the decimal form. So it's meter per second square, units are meter per second square. We can write down 0.75 meter per second square as it is. So Rafael, describe the motion of the cyclist between 20 till 30. What's the motion from 20 till 30? It is basically uniform, you can say speed. So it is moving with a constant speed. So I can write down the speed is constant, moving with a constant speed. So from the next question, we have to tell that the total distance traveled in 50 seconds. For 50 seconds, we have to, we can say, uh, um, make sure the region under that graph. So we have to join this line with x-axis for understanding the concept of, I can say, distance. So I am just figuring out this diagram from here till here. It must be first trapezium and the other one will be the second one. So what about the first trapezium? These two are parallel lengths. So for parallel lengths, the area of trapezium I'm writing down here A equals to 1 over 2 sum of parallel sides and times the perpendicular height. What are parallel sides? So it is one is 30 and other one is 10. So we have to write down means the first area equals to 1 over 2 and it is 30 plus 10. 30 plus 10. What's the perpendicular height between those two parallel lengths? That is 15. So it is times 15. It's the first area and then plus the second trapezium. For second trapezium, these two are the parallel lengths because there is a vertical distance on x-axis like this. So these two are parallel to each other. So we can say it is basically 15 until here it is 5. So 15 and 5 are the parallel lengths for the second trapezium. So 15 plus 5, and what's the perpendicular distance on x-axis? 30 till 50 is 20. So once we simplify them, add them, that will be the answer. So we can say it is 1 over 2, 30 plus 10 is 40 and times 15, and then plus it will be the 2 1 times and 2 10 times. 15 plus 5 is 20 and times 10. Similarly, 2 1 times and 2 20 times 40. So 20 times 15 is 300. If we simplify, it is 300 plus 20 times 10 will be 200. If we add both of them, that will be the total area, and total area is basically the distance. And the distance is, in this case, is 500 meters. So I hope so you understand the concept. You have to join the second, you can say, once the line is not joined with the x-axis, you have to join it manually. You have to do by yourself. Then you can understand what type of shapes are being made. So I hope so you understand. Moving towards the next part. So in the next question, during 1 year, the value of bicycle has decreased from 200 to 160, and we have to tell percentage decrease. So how to find percentage decrease? In order to do this, we have to just first of all find the decreased amount. What's the decreased amount? So decreased amount is $40, means 200 minus 160 equals $40 is the decrease amount. So how to find percentage decrease? Percentage decrease can be found out through the decreased amount. Decreased amount is 40 and divided by the amount which is at the initial state through which the decrease has been done. That is 200. We don't have to divide by 160. It will be wrong because the initial amount, the original amount at the beginning must be divided with that thing. So times 100, cut down the zeros to 0, 0 cut, and 2 uh, 2 times is 4. Sorry, it will be 100. So it is 100. So 2 times 10 is 20%. 20% is the answer because we have to multiply it 100, not 10. It's stay written down because it's a percentage. So percentage must be done. If you have to bring percentage, we have to multiply with 100. So this is the answer. So moving to solve the next question, that is inequality. So inequality can be done simplified like an equation, bringing that variables onto one end side, 2n plus 6n and greater than 5 and minus 23. Add both of them results in 8 and greater than negative 18. So now we have to divide that 8 onto the other side. So what's the answer? It is greater than minus 18 over 8. That down to 4 times to 9 times. So we can say it's minus 9 by 4 is the answer and is greater. Write on the complete answer. Minus 9 over 4 is the answer for this inequality. You have to remember this thing when there is a negative sign with the coefficient of the variable, then we have to change the inequality. Otherwise, if there is negative sign onto the other side, means on the constant terms, no need to change the inequality sign. So we have to do like this. So moving towards the next question, it's factorization question. Factorization question is basically these type of questions will be done like there is a grouping. Grouping means you have to take common something from the first two terms and take common from the second two. What's common in the first term? There is y is common, 3x and minus q will be taken written down as it is. So plus 6 and 2 will be taken as common, and from px and pq, p will be taken as common. So 2 how many times makes 6? It will be 3 and x will be written as it is. Last term sign will be as it is and only q is left. You can see inside the bracket 3x minus q is common. So I have to write down it one time and multiplied with y and plus 2p. This is the answer 3x minus q and multiplied with y plus 2p. Hope so you understand this question. It's very common question related to factorization from paper 1. Moving towards next question. The next question is basically linear inequalities graph question. So how to solve this? One of the equation of line is given. So you can see it must be inclined line, not the line which are parallel to x-axis or y-axis. It is basically the equation of this line, which is passing from 5 because y-intercept is also given, it's positive 5. So how to write down the inequalities? The region is basically shaded. All must be having an equals to sign with them as well. So look at the very first line which is parallel to x-axis. It's passing from negative 4. First of all, write down the equation. Equation is x equals to negative 4. And similarly, write down the equation of this line which passing from 2 from on y-axis. So it will be y equals to 2. So how to figure out the inequalities? I'm writing down with some other color. So you can see once the region is right towards x-axis, the values are increasing and we have to write down the greater than sign. So it must be x is greater than or equals. Why I put equals to? Because the region is shaded. Similarly, for this thing, the region is above this line. So if we move above in y-axis, the values of y are increasing. So we can write down y is greater than or equals to 2. The last thing is this line. On this line, we can see we can say draw a line because it's in two variables. So we have to draw a perpendicular line like this, means parallel to y-axis. We have to draw this and above this. Here you can check whether the region is below it. It will be smaller than or equals to. Otherwise, if the region is above this line, like if I have to draw a perpendicular line, means parallel to y-axis. If the region is above, then we have to write down greater than or equals to. So it will be minus 1 by 2x plus 5. So all of the inequalities are simplified. Write down the answers at the given spot. It will be y is greater than equals to 2, x is greater than equals to minus 4, and last one is y is smaller than or equals to minus 1 by 2x plus 5. I hope you understand this graphical inequalities. Otherwise, if you don't understand, look at my other videos I've made about graphical inequalities and how to solve them. So moving towards question number 19. So this is basically geometrical properties question about circle. So how to solve them? Basically, the angle is given. This angle is given, that's 36. Information is also written here. What we have to do, we have to find the angle x, find the value of x. Value of x is basically at this spot. There is one information you need to understand. This angle at the circumference is basically half of the angle at center. So angle at center must be 2x, double of the angle at the circumference. And next thing is this point is joining with this center because center is O. So the point where radius and tangent are joining must be at right angle to each other. The same point where the tangent is line which cuts the circle at one point, and the radius is cutting, it must be 90 degree. So we can see, if we can say add all of these three angles, that must be equals to 180, and then we have to subtract. Uh, we can solve for x. So this thing is basically 2x plus 90 and plus 36 equals to 180. Now we can simplify. 2x and plus 90 plus 36 is 126 equals to 180. Subtract 126 onto the other side. It results in uh, 54. So 54 divided by 2 is resulting in 27. So 27 degrees is the answer for x, which we have to find. So I hope you understand about the geometrical properties. The properties can be applied at, you can say, more than one or two properties can be applied in the same type of a question. So moving towards the next question, it's basically related to matrices, and whole power minus 1 means its inverse. So how to find inverse of any matrix? It's, if we say this is matrix A, so matrix A's inverse must be adjoint of A and divided by the A mod. So what we have to do, we have to find the determinant first. So determinant, we can say it must be equals to, multiply these two, 3 2 times of 6, put a negative sign, and 1 times minus 2 is minus 2 as well. So 6 minus 2 minus 2 means it's positive 2, and 6 plus 2 is 8. Now find the adjoint. Adjoint is basically, we have to shift these two values. So in place of 3, we have to write down 2, and in place of 2, we have to write down 3, and change the signs of it. It will be positive 2 and it will be negative 1. So there are two ways for writing down this. So there is one easier way. We have to write down the determinant outside like 1 over 8 and write down the adjoint matrix inside the bracket like 2, 2, or we can say minus 1 or 3. The other way around is where we divide each and every value with 8. Both are fine. If you do like this, it will be fine as well. So moving ahead to the next question, question number 21. What's being said in that question? This question is basically cumulative frequency type of question. There are 120 eggs and mass are given about these eggs onto, you can say, on the x-axis, and on y-axis cumulative frequency is given for them. So what we have to do, we have to find the median. So for finding the median for this type of data means cumulative frequency, we have to take the half of the cumulative frequency. The maximum value of cumulative frequency is 120. 120's half is 60. So we have to look at the value at 60. So it is 60 here and goes on, and we have to shift here and moving on x-axis. So it must be at 58 on why 58, because one small box is representing 1 unit. So the answer must be on x-axis for median, because we have to start from the cumulative frequencies half and move towards the data where this data is in means coinciding with the values on x-axis. It is 58, so to write down the exact answer here. Next one is the interquartile range that they have said estimated. If we write down 57, 59, the other way around means similar to 58, it will be fine as well. Interquartile range is basically upper quartile minus lower quartile. So what is upper quartile? Upper quartile is basically the data at the 75th percent stage of the total cumulative frequency. Means 75% is basically 3 by 4. We have to check, and 3 by 4 times the cumulative frequency, 4 one times, and 4 3 times, it is 90. At 90 cumulative frequency, we have to check the data on x-axis. That will be the upper quartile. So what is 90 here? So one small box, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So one small box is basically representing 2 units. So after 5 units, it will be 90. So 90 must be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it must be lying here. So at 90, we can check the data here. So this is the point we have to plot here. So look at x-axis for this point. So it must be 1, 2. So it must be at 62. Upper quartile is 62. So we can write down it's 62 and minus what about the lower quartile? For finding the lower quartile, we have to multiply the cumulative frequency with 120, or you can say it's 25th percent data. It's basically 30. So at 30, the data will be the answer. So I'm zooming in. So it's basically 5 units above 20. It will be 31, 2, 3, 4, 5. So at 5, it must be at 51. You can check. There is one easier way. You can put a scale here and put a dot here and then put scale parallel to y-axis, and then you can check the answer directly. So lower quartile is 51. So subtraction of upper quartile and lower quartile is basically resulting in the answer for the interquartile range. There is 2 marks for the steps. So you have to write down 62 minus 51. This is having 1 mark, and write down the answer 11 grams here. That will be the final answer. The next question is basically saying that eggs are described as large if their mass is 63 grams or more. So how many of these eggs are large? So eggs are large when the mass is above, you can say, or equals to 63 grams. So we have to figure out from x-axis, we have to check from x-axis where 63 is lying. 63 is 3, you can say, small boxes from 60. So 3 small boxes from 60. So where it is cutting, 2, 3 is cutting uh, at this very position. This is basically at 98 something. 98, or you can say at 99, we can say. So it is 98. It is having 98. So 120 and minus 98 will be resulting the mass which is lying above this, and it will be having means the answer. We have to subtract 98 from 120, the total. So 120 minus 98 resulting in 22. There are 22 number of eggs that are having mass equals to or greater than 63 grams. So moving towards question number 22. In question number 22, they have said it's you have to solve, and it's indices question. So I have to solve indices question. So once the variable is in the power, we have to make the basis same. So 27 is basically I will write down as an index notation and in its prime factor as well. So it's basically 3 raised to the power of 3, that is 27 whole power k, and 9 is basically written in terms of prime factor, that's 3 squared. So when bases of same powers are equal, we can write down 3k equals to 2, and we can write down 2 by 3 is the answer for K. So next question is simplification. We have to simplify this fraction. So whole power is basically being multiplied. So we have to do prime factorization of 16. 16's prime factorization is 2 raised to the power of 4 whole power minus 1 by 4 and whole divided by x raised to the power of 8. So powers power are going to multiply with both of the numerator and denominator. So 4 times negative 1 over 4 whole divided by x raised by 8 times minus 1 by 4. So 4 and 4 will be cut. 4 1 times and 4 2 times 8. So it will be 2 raised to the power of minus 1 and x raised to the power of minus 2. So the result must be having x power means the variables or constants powers positive. So how to make 2 raised power minus 1 positive? We have to bring this downwards. It will be 2 raised power 1. No need to write on 1 in the power and it will become x squared. So x squared divided by 2 is the final result for the simplification of part B. So in next question, it's basically variation question. Y is inversely proportional to x plus 1 whole squared. So what we have to do, we have to, I can say, bring an equal sign with a constant k and x plus 1 whole squared. In the first information, x is 1 and y is 5. Right on in place of y, it's 5 and k over 1 plus 1 whole square. 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 squared is 4, 5 times 4 is 20. So 20 is the answer for K. Replacing that 20 at the position of K, that's the equation connecting X and Y. What's the next question? In next question, we have to find Y. Write on Y as it is and replace X with 9. So we can write on 20 over 9 plus 1 whole squared. What's 9 plus 1 whole squared? 9 plus 1 is 10. 10 whole squared is 100. So 20 over 100 is the fraction. So 20 or 100 can be simplified as 0 equal with 0 to 1 times and 2 5 times. So y's answer will be 1 over 5 or we can say 0.2. Both are fine. If you don't want to convert into decimal, you can write down in the fraction form. No need to convert because it's paper one question. No need to spend more time here. So moving towards the next question. Next one is functions question. We have to find f of 3. So input is 3 here. So we have to put in place of x, we have to put 3 here. So f of 3 will be equals to 2 times 3 squared because the value of x is 3 and plus 7 times 3 and then plus 4. It's a 1 mark question here. We can simplify it directly. 9 times 2 is 18. It's 21 and plus 4. If you add them, it results in 43. 43 is the answer for f of 3. Next question is G inverse. How to find inverse? For finding inverse, we have to write on the function that's g of x is equals to 2x plus 6. First step is writing down g of x as y. That's equals to 2x plus 6. Next step is making x the subject, bringing 6 onto the left hand side. So equals to 2x. 2 and x are going to multiply. So 2 will be divided here. So it will be x. So we can do the next step directly. Replace x with f inverse of x. And in place of y, we have to replace x. So it will be x minus 6 whole divided by 2. So this is the answer for f inverse of x. Oh, sorry, g inverse of x. Because the function is g, so I have to write on g inverse. So in the next question, we have to solve. Solve always means that we have to solve the values for the variable. So f of x will be written as it is. It is 2x squared plus 7x plus 4. So 2x squared plus 7x and it's plus 4 and minus the other function is g of x, that is 2x plus 6. It must be written inside the bracket because there is a negative sign in between these two functions. So both of the values will be changed in the next step. So bringing 1 onto the left hand side and as well as opening the bracket. So 2x squared plus 7x plus 4 minus 2x and minus 6 and minus 1 equals to 0. So now we have to add and subtract the like terms. So addition and subtraction of like terms becomes, it is x squared is just one time, so it is 2x squared. 7x minus 2x is plus 5x plus 4 and minus x is minus 2 and it becomes minus 3 equals to 0. So we can apply any of the method of quadratic equation solution. So there is one easiest way I'm going to apply, that is factorization method, or we can say midterm, because there are three terms. We have to do midterm right here. So 3 times 2 is 6. What's the sign of 3? That's negative. It means that both of the factors are having different signs. So there is subtraction in between in the midterm. So what are the factors which are subtracted gives 5 that are 6 and 1. So it is 2x squared plus 6x and minus x. Bigger factor having positive sign because 5 is positive. So taking 2 and x as common, it becomes x plus 3. So if nothing is common, 1 is to be taken as common, and sign is negative, it will be negative, will be taken as it is. And then x and sign of fourth term will be changed. Inside the bracket, you can see both of the terms are same. So I write on x plus 3 one times. Similarly, 2x minus 1 equals 0. When two terms are going to multiply, the result is 0. Either first one is 0 or the second one is 0. So x plus 3 equals to 0, or the other one, that is 2x minus 1 equals to 0. So one answer is x equals to minus 3. What was the other answer? Bringing 1 onto the other side, it becomes positive. So 2 will be divided, so it will be 1 over 2. One answer is negative 3, or the other one is 1 over 2. Or is basically referring as the equation is quadratic and it must have two solutions. We've done it. So moving towards the next question. So next question, it's basically Venn diagram question, and we have to complete the Venn diagram. For completing the Venn diagram, we have to look at the information which is given, and then we can do it correctly. So they're saying that three activities are going on. First is A for arts, D is for dancing, and G is for gardening. So Z is unknown, Y is unknown, X are unknown. So what we have to do? 5 do not take part in any of the activities. So we have to write down 5 outside all of these circles, which shows that it's not participating in any of the activity. Next information, 12 do art only. Art only means this is the region which is just specified for the art. So I have to write down 12 here. Next is 4 do dancing and gardening but not arts. Gardening and dancing are the region here, and they're saying that they are not this is a region, but they are saying that they are not participating in art, means this region will be excluded, and this is the region, combined region of dancing and gardening. So we have to write down 4 here. So the next information is one student does all of the activities. So it's the common region of all of these three activities, all of the three circles combined areas. This one, so I have to write down 1 here. So this is the complete solution for this diagram. Means the information is given and we have done this. So what about the next part? They are saying that on the Venn diagram we have the ratios x, ratio y, and ratio z are given. That's 1, ratio 2, and ratio 3. What are the values of x, y, and z? We need to find them. So for finding them, we have to look at other information. What's given? The total students are 40. So the total students are 40. So we have to add other numbers which are given, means other than x, y, and z, there are 5 plus 4 is 9 plus 1 is 10 and plus 12 is 22. So if we subtract 22 from 40, the result is 18. 18 are the number of students that are basically having the sum of x, y, and z. So if we sum x, y, and z, the result is 18. So what we have to do, they are saying that these are in the ratio 1, ratio 2, ratio 3. So we have to tell each of the values. So for finding each of the values, say we can say we are finding for x. What will be the answer for x? The ratio of x is 1. What's the sum of ratio? It's 1 plus 2 is 3 plus 3 is 6. and multiply with the total number of x plus y and z is 18. If we simplify it, the answer is 3. So x is 3. So if it is 3, you have to multiply with, you can say that number with 2. It will be 3, 2 times is 6. And the last one must be 3, 3 times is 9. So if you don't want, if you don't understand, you can do through the ratio method like the other one which I've done. Like for y, it's 2 over the sum of ratio times the total. It must be resulting in 6. And similar will be done for the last one, that's 3 over 6 times 18. It must be resulting in 9. So these are the answer for x, y, and z. So what we have to do, one student in the Venn diagram in part A has no students. You have to tell the set notation for that student which is not representing here in any of the scenario. That's 0. 0 is basically the answer of it. You can see 0 is not the part of any, you can say, which activity. 0 is not the part of dancing activity. So we can write down the complement of D because it's not involved in D. So I'm writing down D complement, and D complement is basically having the complete region. Either it is the region or this circle, and outside that circle, that is D complement. But it must be having the intersection with these two, you can say, sets as well, A and G. So we can write down A intersection G, and having intersection with D complement, that will be the final solution of it. So shading portion is quite important. You need to understand how to shade and how to write down the set notation as well. So next one is number of elements, small n representing number of elements of D union G and then intersection with A. First of all, doing the steps inside the bracket, what's D union G? D union G are basically the elements that are involved D and G both. This is the complete region, and they're saying that its intersection having intersection with A. It's having intersection with A. So what will be the answer? Answer must be the answer must be you can say D intersection G and D union. Pardon. It's D union G and intersection with A. D union G and it's having intersection with A. What will be the region? Intersection with A must be the region. This is the region you need to tell. D union G is the complete one, but they're saying that the intersection with this region, we have to include this as well because 0 is having, this region is 0, so no need to add that. So x value is 3, so we can add 3 plus 1 plus 0, the result is 4. 4 is the final answer of this question. So this is complete from this paper. If you have any queries, you can write down in the comment section. If you have any queries, if you're facing any problem in any topic, any kind of problem, you can just write down in comment section. I will make some other video about it as well. So kindly follow and subscribe my channel and share as well. Press the bell icon. So stay tuned and thanks for watching. Hafiz.